Right, guys, can you see our screen? You can see the presentation,
Okay.
yeah? Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Layla.
Okay, so my name is Yanyi and I am UKEC's immigration advisor. So if you are a UKEC student, hello, I will be helping you on this visa journey. So I will be providing like consultation, helping you check all of the documents, submitting it, helping you book an appointment until you get the visa at the end. So that will be me. So this is an overview of what I will be covering today. So our services, what documents you need, how to apply, so which website. I will also be covering both your home country and UK applications because they are a little bit different depending on where you're applying, but don't worry, I will cover all of this today. So I will also talk about significant policy changes. So like Jessie said earlier, Tier 4 became just student visa. So there's a few things that affect us, but they're not that big of a deal. And then the new section that we've got this time round is COVID-19 related issues, because they currently do affect all students that will be coming to the UK. So I'm just going to highlight the key points for that. So I just firstly want to talk a bit about our student services. So like Jessie mentioned, it is completely free. Our visa service is free for students that are signed up with UKEC. So if you are listening in today and you are not a UKEC student, you can purchase the visa, like a standalone visa service from us. So that would be £300. So that is our visa service charge, so our professional fees. But then say if you are a UKEC student but you're not going to a partner university, then we do also have to charge you if you want to use our visa service. But if in doubt, you can talk to Jessie, you can talk to Lynn, Kyo, or Tian.
Yeah.
So let's start. Where do I apply? Should I apply in my home country or should I apply in the UK? So most commonly you would just apply in your home country because you may have never come to the UK before, or you've just gone home from the UK, so you've just like completed your studies and you just want to go home. So that is the most common route, I would say, is to apply from home. To apply in the UK, you must have already been in the UK on another visa. So say if you're in your final year of studies and then you're progressing to like master's studies, then you can apply in the UK. So there is something called academic progression that you need to fulfill if you're applying in the UK. So what that basically means is UKVI wants you to study on a course that is at a higher level than your previous course. So only if you have academic progression can you apply in the UK. So if say you are studying like a master's currently and then you're going to do another master's, you may be able to apply in the UK, but then that is dependent on what is written on your CAS. So your CAS will have to confirm whether your CAS has to confirm that your second master's is related to your first master's. But if in doubt, you don't know where to apply, I can check whether you can apply in the UK or if it's better for you to make your application at home. Okay, so the second thing that I wanted to talk about, so whether you can apply in the UK, depends on your visa expiry date. Now, so this is quite a bit of an issue for some of the students that I've talked to recently, because their visa expires in July. And then the current policy stands that your visa expiry date and your new course start date must be less than 28 days apart. So if your visa expires in July, but your new course starts in September, then I'm afraid, according to the current policy, you will have to make your application back home. Because
so that means that they have to travel out
yes,
of the
they
UK,
will have to
right?
travel out of the UK. So that is probably not what you really want to hear at the moment with COVID and like quarantine, but that is the policy at the moment. So I'm also checking every day because this does affect quite a lot of your students, UKEC students, because obviously they don't want to travel if they don't really need to. So previously, a few months ago, like for January, they did suspend the policy. So they said, okay, look, if your course starts in January, but then your visa is already expired or you had exceptional assurance, you can apply in the UK. So they got rid of it. But then that was 31st of March. That was the old policies. And right now, this 28 days.
So they're constantly updating.
Yeah.
Everything.
So the thing is UKVI is, because this is an ongoing issue, they're changing things pretty much every day. So maybe tomorrow they will release something new, but I couldn't tell you because I'm not UKVI. But yeah, so right now, let's just say if your visa expires July and your course starts in September, then I just want to remind you that you may have to go home to make your visa application. Moving on, this is a list of the documents that you will need to prepare for your student visa. So you must have a CAS. So CAS is basically like a number that is unique to you. It has information about you, your passport number, the course that you're going to study. So if we do not have this document, we cannot make the student application.
So the CAS, we will be requesting the CAS for you from the university. The CAS letter will be only requested when you have fulfilled the university condition. So I am assuming that right now everyone has a conditional offer, or some people already had unconditional offer. So what you have to do is we just need to tell me, and then we'll contact the university on your behalf and then request the CAS. Once we got the CAS, then Yanni can proceed to make the application for you.
Yes.
Of course, with other documents.
Yeah, other documents, but I will obviously check them all before we submit. So BRP card, if you're making an application in the UK, police registration. Now, police registration, I will also talk about later because certain nationalities need to register with the police. So if you're making an application in the UK, you will need to submit that. So things that you may need. So this is a bit of a typo. I forgot to change it to TB is home country. So also some other countries, students will need to supply a TB test with the application. So if you're coming to study for more than 6 months, then you will need to provide a TB test. So ATAS, I don't know if some students are familiar or not familiar. So basically, certain subjects that you study at postgraduate level or above, you need to apply for like an ATAS certificate.
Yeah, I think engineering.
Yes, engineering, like science-based subjects will need to apply for this. So this is only certain students. I think the students today don't need it. Your law students do not need an ATAS. But if you're listening in, and then you may, if you're not sure, check your conditional offer. So this on the right is low risk. So if you are from a low risk country, your student visa application is going to be quite straightforward because you don't need to submit the documents listed there. So basically, you only would need to submit like CAS, passport, TB test. So it's really straightforward for certain students. Okay, sorry, I forgot. So this is the list of low-risk applicants. So if you're a national from one of these countries, you can enjoy a pretty straightforward visa process. Even though they say you don't need to submit like your bank statement, you don't need to submit like your degree certificate with at the time of your application, we do still suggest you to save the money because UKVI has the right to check those documents at any time. So if you saved it, we prepared it, and then they wanted to check your bank statement, then you could just give it to them. If you can't provide like your bank statement and your degree certificate within 10 working days, your visa is going to get refused.
So basically, they can actually request it from
Yes,
the student, from
they
the
have the right
applicant.
to, yes.
Even though that you submit the applicant, and then they can phone you up and be like,
Yes.
can we
Well,
see your bank
yes.
statement?
They will send you an email, actually. Phone call, not so much. It's usually email. They'll be like, oh, UKVI wants you to send your bank statement and your degree certificate within 10 working days.
So it's better to prepare it rather than not have it.
As a visa advisor, I would still ask you to do it because I don't want any risk associated with your application. So as part of the financial requirement for the student visa, UKVI requests you to save the unpaid tuition fee plus 9 months living expense. So there are two figures for living expense depending on where you're studying. So if you're going to be studying in London, the living expense that UKVI require is £12,006. So this is 9 months living expense. And then if you're going to be studying at a non-London institution, then the amount that you will need to save is 9,207. So this figure actually increased last year. So those students who've done a student visa before, you're going to have to save a bit more money. So London would be those in like immediate London, so surrounding like Surrey, Essex, that would be considered non-London. So have to be a little bit careful because there are some institutions that have a London campus. So Coventry, Loughborough, London.
Just to be safe, we rather advise you to save more than what's mentioned.
Of course.
Don't do like 006 on the dot.
No, because you also have to be careful because say if you saved it in like Malaysian ringgit and then the currency fluctuates, so it depends on the date that you submitted your application. So it would fluctuate. So if they, picked your application and then they did, so you saved like bang on £30,000 because that's what you needed, but then, the exchange rate, I'm afraid you will get a visa refusal. So it's best to save more, like a few £1,000s more if you can.
I think 13,000. If we say 12,000, I would save about.
But that's just living expense though. So we would still need like tuition, like you need to still save the tuition fee.
So the unpaid tuition fees, that's excluding their deposit as well. Is it included?
So say your tuition fee is 20,000
and they already paid 3,000.
So that would be 17. You would need to say 17,000 plus, let's say 12,000. So that would be about £29,006. So in this scenario, I would say £30,000 or equivalent, depending on what your currencies. Your country's currency is.
Yeah, if you guys don't understand like the calculation and everything, we do the calculation.
Yeah, we do I do the calculation for you. So if you have like several offers at the moment and you haven't decided which one you're going to go to, I would advise you to save the highest one.
Yeah.
So when should I deposit? So the funds need to be saved for a minimum of 28 days before you make your application. So for example, if I plan to make my application in August, I want to get it for September, then the funds, so let's say the £30,000, I need to save by July. So we recommend
by July. Is that the latest or?
It depends on your own situation, but then as a general rule, the earlier you save it, the better, so that you don't. So if you save it now, you can just save it, forget about it, and then when your CAS comes, you can just make the application as soon as possible. But like, say if you left it last minute, you're going to have to still wait for the 28 days before you submit. I mean, you can submit because you don't need to. So if you're a low risk applicant, you can submit.
Yeah.
But then there's going to be risks involved if you're submitting without doing the preparation. So I don't recommend that. Okay, so one of the new financial requirements that came in last year is you will be exempt. So if you're making an application in the UK and you've been living here for 12 months, for more than 12 months at the time of your application, you actually don't need to save any.
Wow.
You don't need to prepare any funds.
Okay, is this a new thing?
Yes, it's new.
I'm excited.
So it's really great. So this is not just for you. So say if you have dependents as well in the UK and you're extending, then great. You don't need to save the funds. So it's perfect. But this is only if you've been in the UK for 12 months or more at the time. So if you say only came like last November, December, and you're making your application in August, then I'm afraid you're still going to have to prepare the funds in advance. But that's quite good because there are some students in the UK right now that would fulfill this requirement. So yeah, if 12 months or less, you can prepare as normal. So you can save in all sorts of accounts, current accounts, saving accounts. Time deposit is also fine. So if you're sponsored by the government or you're taking out like a student loan, then those are also acceptable forms of finance.
Just need a sponsor letter.
Yes, sponsor letter from the government. So there are certain like items that must be on the letter, but we'll double check if you are a government like finance government sponsored student. Yeah. So double check that. So anything such as like bonds, shares, those cannot be used, I'm afraid. So it has to be like a cash saving. So something you can access instantly, like pension, I believe is also fine, but like you will need to have immediate access to those funds.
Yeah.
So you can save the funds under your own named bank account or your mum and dad's named bank account, or if you're adopted, their account is also fine. So if you're going down that route, then you will need to provide like a birth certificate so that they can show that you are related to your mum and dad, the relationship. And then you would also need to provide a parental consent to funds letter. So then we do have a template. So if you need it, then we can send it over.
So you're saying that with parents' funds,
yes,
only mum and dad,
yes,
could be the funding person.
Yes, so
not your uncle,
your auntie. I literally had that question just now. Like sister, so I'm afraid they cannot financially sponsor you, but one way that you can do it is to get them to transfer you the funds.
Yeah.
So that those funds will be under your named bank account, which is perfectly fine.
That's what we always advise students to do. It's easier to get your parents or your relative to transfer the funds into your account. So everything is in your name, so you wouldn't need an extra document when you submit the application.
Yes.
And it makes the application smoother.
Straightforward. And then you can save yourself like translation costs as well.
Because I know that some birth certificates not in English. You still have to translate it.
Provide a certified translation. These are the things that have to be on your bank account. So if you get like your bank statement, these are the 6 things that have to be on it. If you're unsure, I will check it for you later on. So this is just a sample of bank statements that you can use.
The logo.
Stamp, logo. Most important is, they can't see. Well, I mean, they can see, but like 50. Yeah. 50.
I can see. Yeah.
You can? Okay. So yeah, this person has definitely saved it for more than 28 days. So the opening balance is 15th and then closing balance is on the 14th of September and they've maintained about 28 grand.
Yeah. Just make sure that the money, you can still use the funds in there, but just don't let it drop too much.
Yeah. So if you needed to save £30,000, you have to maintain your balance above 30,000 for 28 days. Say if you accidentally bought something like a lipstick at Selfridges.
That's what I did.
£30, and then it dropped down to £29,970, then I'm afraid you're going to have to start the 28 days again.
Yeah.
And then top it up, and then it'll be 28 days again. So please be careful if you're going to be saving it in like an everyday account, current account, that you save more if you're if that is like your normal spending account.
Oh, would like to add that even though you submitted the application, do not take out the funds yet until you get your visa, if that makes sense.
Yes,
that's correct, right?
That's correct. Yeah, you shouldn't, because like I said, if you get picked by UKVI and you can't provide the bank statement, then
they call your bank as well to check.
Yes, so they do verifications on the bank, because previously they did have like a list of financial institutions which is not acceptable, but now they've gotten rid of that list.
Oh, okay.
So now it's just if they cannot verify your bank, then they're going to refuse you. I think I got an email the other day from a university saying that like I think called Trust Bank in Pakistan or something is not acceptable. So but I think like for most of our students, Malaysia, UK bank accounts are perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I have a few samples. Maybank, OCBC, they're all fine. On to next, police registration. Malaysians do not have this, but I'm only mentioning it because it is a requirement for certain nationalities. So if you're not sure whether you need this, you will need to check the visa vignette in your passport. So if it says police registration, you will need to register with the police. If you don't, then you do not need this. So basically what this is for is they just want to know like when your visa expires, your home address, your term time address, passport details. So like every time like you move house or you get a new visa, you should go and get this updated. So I did put a note because of COVID, they did suspend this service. So they don't accept any like walk-ins. I know that you can make an appointment online with your local police station, but then the dates that are available are quite far in advance. So my suggestion is to just book it. And then if by the time you make your visa application and it's not updated, you can just submit your appointment and say, look, I've booked it, but then this was the earliest time available. So I would advise students who need this to check with their local police force. This is a must for students if they've never come to the UK before. So if you're coming to study on a course that is more than 6 months, you need it. So you have to get this done at a Home Office approved clinic. So there is a link.
I can send you the link to where, which clinics in your home country that the UKVI actually approve it.
Yeah, you have to go to a UKVI approved one, because if you go to one that isn't, it's
not going to be approved.
No, your visa, someone did that last year. They went to a different one.
And then, but the visa didn't get rejected, did it?
No, because I checked it and I was like, I'm sorry.
See, we checked your documents. Sorry. We're going to tell you, it's like, no, this is not approved.
It has to be the one, this is the sample of the one that is correct.
It's about £100.
Yeah, about £100.
80 to £100.
80 to £100, and then you need to bring your passport and 2 photos. They do ask you for like a UK address. You could leave it blank. You can put university address. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. They just want to know that you do not have TB. So same days or 2 or 3 days for the results. So it's valid for 6 months. So if you're coming September, you can do it now. So if you're in the UK right now, but you will be going back to your home country in the summertime. So if you've been in like a TB exempt country for more than 6 months, but then you return to your home country, you can also be exempt from doing the TB test. So what we ask students to do is to keep a copy of their boarding pass, or if your home country has like an entry stamp, if you just send us a copy of that, then
this is the entry stamp.
We've got a few samples, then you can be exempt from doing the TB.
The boarding pass has to be a physical one, by the way.
Physical, or if it's one of the QR code, that is fine. QR code
now?
Yeah.
So they accept QR codes now.
So, but then
you have to print it out, right?
Yeah, but you have to print it out though.
The one in our wallet, in the
that one
in the
I'm
phone.
not sure, but then like I've seen ones like, I think it's like Qatar, airlines that has
Is it a physical one or is it in the phone that the student?
It was a
printed out?
physical one. She had a physical one that was accepted last year as well. Because before we said no, but then now that the airlines are doing that type of boarding pass,
the physical
one. So yeah, but we'll
just keep it with you.
Keep everything.
But if they stay out the UK for more than 6 months, they still have to do a TB test, don't they?
In the UK.
Stay out of the UK.
Oh, more than 6 months. Then you're going to have to do a new one, I'm afraid. So certain students that are studying certain subjects will need an ATAS certificate. So if you don't know whether you need it, check your conditional offer. So this is free. This application is free. You can do it online, and it takes about 20 working days for you to get the certificate. So if you need this, but then you didn't do it, your application is going to be refused.
Yeah.
And then because it takes 20 working days and then there is no priority service, you're going to have to do this quite early. Okay, so applying in your home country. So you would have to apply on gov.uk. If you're a UKEC student, I will be making an application for you. But this is just a few things that are like important. So on the form, you need to declare like your travel history, so holidays or any countries that you've been in the past 10 years. If you can remember, then it would be great if you put those in. So they ask like your personal information, any like visa refusals. Is quite important that you make me aware or your EA aware that you have had this, because if you don't declare this information, they might ban you from the UK.
Yeah,
we've had instances of that too.
10 years ban.
10-year ban. This student like didn't provide it.
Yeah, you have to declare it. Yeah,
like like no matter how big or how small, if you just let us know, then we will deal with it from there.
Got a question from one of my students.
Yeah.
So what about a cigarette fine? So you know the environmental police.
Yes,
so if she got a fine,
I've seen them too.
Yeah. So she was asking me. So does she have to declare that?
Yeah. So there is a section on the form. It's like fixed penalty notice, isn't it? So you do have to put which council, dates, and then information. So normally,
what if she forgot?
She forgot. You can just give like an estimate. So like if you just say November 2020, Liverpool City Council fined £80 for littering.
Oh, that's littering.
Littering. I've seen littering. I've seen cigarette butts.
Yeah,
£80.
That's from the environmental police. You know, if you guys do smoke, just watch out where you put out your cigarette.
Don't drop it. You're going to be fined £80.
Yeah, £80. That's what our student got fined for. Just declare it.
Just declare it.
It's a normal
offense.
It
doesn't hurt to declare it. It's fine. All of those students declare got the visa. Well, not the
all the students that declare got the visa, apart from the
one that didn't declare anything. He got 10-year ban. So applying in UK, you do have to go to a visa centre to go and submit your documents. So in your home country, you do have to go to the visa centre to submit your passport.
What if they're on a lockdown?
Malaysia is still open. I checked already. Malaysia one is still operating. When I checked 2 days ago, still in operation. But other countries, I'm not too sure. China, I know, is still in operation. Maybe reduced times. But Malaysia currently is only just Kuala Lumpur, Sabah, and Sarawak is closed. So East Malaysia is closed.
East Malaysia is closed. Okay.
Yes.
So they actually have to travel to the.
Yes, they're going to have to travel currently, but it might change in the future. We don't know. So book an appointment. And like I said, before you had to go to the visa centre to go and submit. So they call it UKVCAS here, the visa centre. So because of COVID, and then to minimize contact with other people, student visas since last summer, you can submit your visa application via their app, which is called the UKVCAS IDV app.
That's a very long name.
Yeah, that's the name.
UKVCAS IDV. Okay.
Yeah, so basically this is an app that lets you submit your application without going to a visa center. So I've got a few screenshots of the invitation and what you need to do. So basically, once you've submitted that app on the Gov website, and then you will need to register an account on the UK VCAS website, and then afterwards you will need to await an email because they need to check whether you are eligible to use this app. So not all students can actually use this. So if you can't, then they will ask you to book an appointment to go to a visa center. But the majority of the students that I've done the application for, most of them can use the IDV app. So if you get the invitation, you just have to download the app from the
so iOS or
Android. I think also certain phones you can't use it either. So you might have to borrow someone else's phone to do it.
Oh, this is a little bit tricky, isn't it? You can't use the laptop to actually.
No, you have to use it on the phone because you have to take a picture of your passport, and then you also have to take a picture of yourself so that they
selfie for the so you actually control how you look now for your visa. That's a good thing, guys.
Yes. So once you've taken a selfie and then they've taken your passport, then you just need to submit the documents. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a section for documents. We would help you to upload the required documents beforehand. So once you get the invitation, you just need to do the verifications and submit. So it's in an ideal situation, it's pretty straightforward. That I think as long as you applied before your visa expired, then it's fine. If it's past your visa expiry date, but you're waiting on this, it's fine. So these are the application fees and processing times currently. So in the UK, there is only the standard service. So that costs £475, and it takes about 8 weeks for you to get the results via email. And then once you've gotten the result, it takes another 10 working days for you to receive the BRP card. And then on top of the application fee, you will also need to pay IHS fee, which has increased to £470 per year.
What is IHS fee?
So IHS is the Immigration Health Surcharge. So this is a contribution to our lovely NHS. So if you need to see the doctor, then it's free because you've already paid for IHS. So if you're in the UK, and because we're currently getting vaccines, aren't we? The COVID vaccine.
You guys can get
so make sure you're registered with a GP so that you can get your shots.
Yeah, students, if you do come to the UK, you can get vaccinated here.
Also, if you cannot use the IDV app, you may have to pay the visa center fee, which is £65 to £200.
So they can still go to the visa center. So that's the alternative. Yes,
if they can't reuse your previous biometrics, then you will have to go to the visa center. So if you're outside the UK, you have to go to the visa center anyway. So outside the UK, the visa application fee is £348. So that will be it won't be in pounds. It will be in Malaysia. you will have to pay US dollar. So it's dependent on the country you apply for, but it will be equivalent to £348. And then the standard service takes 15 working days, so 3 weeks. But if you're urgent, priority service is available, and that is currently extra 1,240 ringgit. So you pay that on top of the 348. So priority, I forgot to write, it's 5 working days that you get the visa.
5 working days for priority.
Sorry, I forgot to write that down.
Standard is
15 working
15 working days. WD is working days.
Sorry, yeah, working days. So that is the standard. It could be earlier, it could be later. It depends on the season. So like we're coming up to summertime, it's going to be quite an influx of applications. So I would probably expect it to be a little bit longer. And then if you selected the courier service, so you don't need to go back to the visa center to collect your passport, then that would also take another few working days as well. And then that costs 58 to 81 ringgit. I checked the other day. So 58 is in West Malaysia, and then East Malaysia is 81 for the courier service. So this is just like a timeline of the entire student process. So, you know, save your money, get your TB certificate. Once you get CAS, make the application, and then that's it, come to the UK. So the earliest that you can apply is now 6 months before the course start date. So before it was you can only apply 3 months, but now it's changed to 6. That's if you're applying outside the UK in your home country. But your visa will only be valid the earliest starting 1 month before your course start date. Now, because of COVID, they have extended it to about 90 days. So you get 90 days to come to the UK at the moment.
That's the visa
vignette, the one in your passport.
Visa
the sticker.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is what you get if you apply outside the UK. So once you get that, you come to the UK and then you can collect your BRP card. But then in the UK, you will just get a new BRP card. You won't get another sticker. And then the earliest that you can apply in the UK is 3 months before your course start date. This is just a quick checklist if students want to screenshot this. So I've already mentioned all of this.
We'll send you the checklist.
Yep. Yeah, so these are the new so significant policy changes to the student route since last year. So before, it was only students on a tier 4 or tier 2 visa can apply from inside the UK. So like say if you were like on the other routes like investor or family, then you will need to make the application in your home country. But now most people can, apart from visitors and short-term students, they have to apply for their student visa in their home country. So the second one, I've already mentioned before, if you're living here for 12 plus months, then you don't need to show any funds when you make your extension in the UK. And quite an important one, or a big one, no time caps for studying courses above degree level. New way of meeting English language requirement met in the previous application means you don't need to show it again. Entry clearance, I just mentioned, you can apply 6 months in advance instead of 3. Number of factors that can make an application invalid has increased. This one, I feel like because we checked your application meets before we submit it, then this one students don't really need to worry. COVID update. Right. New one.
Hello, COVID. We have to address this issue.
Yes, it affects the students coming to the UK. So this is correct as of today. There may be something new.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, we don't know.
So UKEC, both the visa team and also the application team, the counselors team, we get updates on the COVID changes and the UK's situation all the time. So we will update you regarding that, or you have any questions, just ask us, because we're based here, we know what's going on. But right now, everything's going back to normal.
Not everything.
Almost
everything.
Everything.
We're not quite there yet. We're on step 3 of the roadmap.
So hopefully it gets better and better and better.
This is something called exceptional assurance. So basically, if your visa is going to is expired or about to expire, and you can't leave the UK by your visa expiry date, you can apply for something called exceptional assurance. They basically give you an extension of your visa. So currently, it's only for those who have a visa or leave that expires by the 30th of June. So all you need to do is to send an email to the CIH assurance team with the following details: full name, date of birth, nationality, so like your current visa expiry date, and then your reason for the request. So say if
Your flight got cancelled.
Yeah, flight cancelled, you just attach your cancelled flight with them, and then they should approve it. So they are quite busy because of the sheer volume of applicants doing this. So for me, I think about 2 or 3 weeks is when I got a response from them.
So recently with my student last week, she actually got a response from them in 24 hours.
Really?
Yeah, so I think they picked up the speed now.
If you applied before your visa expired, but then you're still waiting on their response, then it's perfectly fine for you to stay in the UK until you get their response. Traveling to the UK, do you want to give us some insight, Jessie?
Okay, so I recently traveled back from Asia. So to be specific, traveled back from Thailand. So the travel restriction, of course, is still in place. What you need to do before you fly is take the PCR test and also take the go to the government website and fill in the passenger locator form, which everyone has to do. So the passenger locator form actually tells the government. Yeah, you got it?
I got it.
Yeah, so the passenger locator form actually tells the government and NHS where you're going to be quarantining. So if you travel from the green list country, which is not on the red
so it's
list.
Red, amber, green.
Yeah, so Thailand and Malaysia right now is still on a green list.
No, the amber.
The ambers.
The amber.
Amber now.
The amber.
Yeah, sorry. See, she's more updated about the visa stuff. So what I need to do is, get the PCR test, present it to the airlines, and then fly in, and then they'll check the documents as well before you get into the UK. So the immigration was really quick for me. I don't know why. A lot of people complain that it takes 2-3 hours, but me was just about 10 minutes. Maybe it's longer queue for the UK nationals because I'm international. So then you have to quarantine for 10 days. If you're going to do it at home, so the address is on home anyway. But if you have to do it in a hotel, you have to book the hotel prior to your flight and also present it which hotel you're staying and also the payment of the hotels. Fairly easy. They do a surprise checkup in your house. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they showed up. They showed up at my apartment once. Just like, surprise that you're at home, because you are supposed to be at home because you could get fined and also go to jail. You need to quarantine fully 10 days. The NHS will call you every day and do a surprise visit as well. You have to do 2 swabs. So you have to, at first for me, when I was doing the quarantine, you have to attend the video call before the swab to make sure that, you open the product's legit. And then after that, you do a swab and then you can go out and drop it in the post box. And then if you're cleared after the 2 tests, so the test was done on the 2nd day and then on the 8th day. So if on the 8th day you're totally clear, you test negative for COVID, on the 10th day you can just go out. It's fine. Don't have to do any declaration form either.
No, because everything is on the passenger locator form, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, like, after you test, if you test like negative, everything is clear, you don't have to sign anything. Because a lot of students and like some other people were asking me, after we, receive the test that we're all clear, do we have to do anything else? No, you don't have to do anything else because the system's all connected. So the test center that I forgot to tell you, you have to book a test kit from the government approved list clinic.
Yeah, here it is, I've put it there.
So if you see booking the test, it's fairly easy. Just click on there and then they'll give you a list of which clinic of different prices that you can order the test kit from.
About £200, isn't it?
Yeah, I paid like 100 something. Mine's quite cheap.
There's so many providers. You just pick one that suits
you learn to swap your own, or like, I know. But it's very easy, guys. But hopefully that the vaccine passport might come into question when it's the time for you to travel.
Yeah, so this is what's happening right now. This is the policy right now. So when you guys come in August, September, things might have changed.
Yeah, because they update it all the time.
All the time. So if you're coming from a red list country, you have to quarantine in a hotel,
which is £1,750.
£1,750 for 11 days, 10 nights, food, everything. Even the test is included in that when I looked at it yesterday. So red list, you have to hotel quarantine. Amber, like Jessie said, you just quarantine at home, do the passenger locator form, test on day 2 and 8. If you're coming from a green list, then you just need to do a test before you come, passenger locator form, test on day 2. And then in the UK, we do have something called the test to release scheme, which is basically you pay for a private test. And then after 5 days, you can leave. You can stop quarantine. Yeah, I've got a screenshot of a test to release provider. If you've booked it, you have to do it. You have to book it if you're going to do that.
Yeah. Well, so what's the difference? So they can just quarantine for 5 days, right?
Yeah, instead of 10.
You can still go out for essential shopping, but come on, essential is food, but we don't recommend it that. Because if you get stopped and your reason is not good enough, that's Deliveroo. There's like delivery applications online.
There is. Yeah. That's it from me.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope to talk to some of you soon. If I haven't. Bye.
Bye, guys.